Get a phone call from the Queen with 100 heads. She says that they're all dead. She tried the last one on, couldn't speak, fell off, and now she just wanders a hall, thinking nothing at all. Once there was a man who had a little too much time on his hand and never stopped to think that he was getting older. But when his night came to an end, he tried to grasp for his last friend and pretend that he could wish himself health on four-leaf clover.
How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio. And this is brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio, delivering high-level, discerning insight into events, people, and the contrived lies of the demented time. Did you guys miss me? Because I missed you guys. Yes, sir. We got a lot to cover. And we're going to go down a varied path. I mean, this is my first video. A lot of you core Covert Radio members and viewers know, subscribers, not to mention all the new Covert Radio Tribunal members, which I'm literally 3 weeks behind in email. I have to log into that. This is my first video after a vacation. I was in the Bahamas, and, I'm not even getting into it, but I do want to tell you a few things because, again, like I said, I'm really just kind of warming up. It's unbelievable. Yeah, like, I don't think a lot of people really realize how tightly wound they are, how I felt like a piece of aluminum foil that was balled up so tight, and then you try to unravel it. You try to unravel it so you don't rip it or break it or whatever, and then you kind of like put it on a table and you flatten it out, and you're trying to get the creases out. That was me. And you don't realize that you're a balled up piece of aluminum foil until you start getting unraveled. And I'm saying that's laying on a lounge chair in the Bahamas, Nassau, and I don't know. It's unbelievable, really. But I'm not going to get all into what I did, but there's really only a couple ways to the Bahamas. You know what I mean? So one of them is a ship, and we were on the East Coast of Miami and all that. So we were right in the beginning stages of Helene, and so much so that we were delayed getting out of the port for like 15 hours because none of the tugs would take us out. So, but we had beautiful weather. It was an unbelievable time. And I come back, and as soon as I get stateside again, or, back on land or near land, I start getting, bing, 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 bing. this one, that one, that one, this one, this one, that one, that, family. And it's like, I felt so overwhelmed within 5 minutes. I'm like, whoa, I can't. And then I realized, like, oh my God, this is me every day. Like, this is me every day. And I'm literally just getting back into the swing of things. I got to tell you guys something about what I experienced down there with weather. And this is a phenomenon I never in my life experienced. We're going to jump all over the place in this video, by the way. Again, this is Covert Radio. This is radio format, but I am going to have you guys take a look at the screen many times in this. So I'll prompt you and I'll say, please take a look at your screen. I'm just really getting everything warmed back up and stuff and equipment. And I just figured I have to do a video. So I'm just going to randomly go over a bunch of things that I've been paying attention to and involved in. And, there's a lot, you know what I mean? There's a lot. And, but I'm going to blow your mind in this broadcast because I'm going to show you some things that I guarantee you don't know exist. And, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've said this so many times that I take for granted the amount of information I know, the things I've studied and, the things I've experienced. I always take it for granted with regards to other people, because I always feel like people are as hungry for knowledge and understanding as I am, and they're not. And there aren't people who have the capacity to really go after certain rabbit holes of information. And I'm a wellspring of information, but at the same time, it's also, I wouldn't say it's convoluted, but I've learned over the years what my filter has been honed as to what to chase, what not to chase, what is, the woman in the red dress, you know what I mean? Like, looky here. And then just like lantern flies. Okay. Supposedly they've, I've never seen them before in my life until this year. And, I don't know if you guys ever seen them. If you haven't, look up, spotted lanternfly on the Googs. And, it's some wicked stuff. Like, I mean, they're pretty little things, but the government says kill them on sight. So you know what I do? I go above and beyond to make sure they live. That's how that's how Covert Radio operates. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to LA. I haven't even touched base with anybody, but see what I'm saying? What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do the exact opposite. Whatever they say, do the exact opposite. And that also includes following obvious, streams of information of like, looky over here. Don't look there. You got to look over there. But the spotted lanternfly, for all I know, can cure disease. And I won't get into it, but I've never really heard the government request that you kill them on sight. But I won't. I just won't do it. I'll save them. I'll scoot them off roads if I can. I mean, a couple's gotten into the house and I'll like go above and beyond to safely get them out. But the point is, I don't know what the point is, but we're going to go over a lot of things in this. It's late. And I'm getting everything warmed back up. We're going to go over some information that's mind-blowing. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I take for granted the amount of information I know. And it's constantly, I'm reminded of that a lot when I have conversations with people because they're like, what? What is that? And I'm like, you never heard of XYZ? And they're like, nah. And then it's like, well, then I realize, well, I've been paying attention to this stuff for almost 30 years, just about 30 years. You understand what I mean? And we're going to start 23 years ago in this video from Covert Radio, my comeback video. Let me readdress this too. I am going to get to my email. Welcome to any of the new tribunal members that may have signed up in the last couple weeks. You know, and I didn't tell everybody, oh, I'm going to the Bahamas. I didn't. Why would I do that? Like, because honestly, I was watching 3 or 4 storms prior to even, and it's such a long story, but I wasn't even 100% sure if I was actually leaving because of these hurricanes. And because there was a couple brewing in the eastern side of the, you know, of the eastern seaboard. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm not going to die in the middle of the ocean somewhere, but I wasn't even, so I didn't say anything to anybody. I wasn't sure. You know, I've been absent a week or so prior to my last video because I've had so much. Listen, I'm not even getting into it. I will get into it one day, but not right now. I got too much information to get to. I miss you guys. I've been, you know, a lot of emails of where you at, what's going on, are you okay? Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you. And I'm saying this is other email, not my Covert Radio email. I haven't even checked that. But for the new tribunal members, I will get to you guys here in the next day or so. Welcome aboard. And that link is also in the description. There's so much going on. And I know a lot of you guys know certain things, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's just, hey, you know what I mean? You sure you want to open that door? That's all I'm saying. Are you sure you want to open that door? I mean, because there's a lot of doors here, you know what I mean? You want to open that door? Okay. Okay. Fine by me. But yeah, we're going to definitely get into that this week. And maybe we'll have some guest interviews. I'm trying to reach out to a few fellas out there, but word on the street is they're offline right now, traveling, and the comms are down. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't get in touch with anybody. I've tried the satellite phone and nothing. So they're deep cover somewhere. They could be in ghillie suits crawling 3 feet a day. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying. But we may have some live combo interviews coming up. Pretty soon marks the year, I believe. And I'd have to look and see. I don't want to talk out of school, but we need to touch base with Adam Camacho because I know it's been about a year since our first interview with him. And like I said, we may have a surprise guest too coming up with an interview. But again, it's hard to get in touch with them because they're deep cover, you know what I mean? So let's see here. So yeah, what I was playing for you guys, I'm going to play it right now. This is Concerned Citizen on Twitter, on X, but I'm going to play it with the volume this time. I want you guys to take a look at what he's covering here. Here we go.
Let's take a look at what's going on in California here. This is roughly where Vandenberg Air Force Base is. You see that emanating out towards the coast from there? Watch, boom. See that right there? Those pulses, it look like the Wi-Fi symbol. I want you to remember that. And I know that's probably going to be hard for some of you guys to see, but if I leave it at this size here, I mean, I'll actually put it, I'll play it at this size. You see that those pulses, it look like the Wi-Fi symbol.
I want you to remember that. And I know that's probably going to be hard for some of you guys to see, but if I leave it at this size here, I mean, I'll actually put it, I'll play it at this size. If you can like make it bigger on your phone or whatever. But I want you to really see, it's right here. He says it looks like the Wi-Fi symbol. You see like right there on the left side there in California. But I'll take it back and play it. It's only like a minute long. But I want you to pay close attention because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind here in a few moments.
Let's take a look at what's going on in California here. This is roughly where Vandenberg Air Force Base is. You see that emanating out towards the coast from there? Watch, boom. See that right there? those pulses that look like the Wi-Fi symbol. Yeah, that's microwave energy. It's coming down here as well, but it's a different pattern. You see that? They're shooting out into the ocean to dissipate any moisture that might be coming to save us from their heat wave that they're inducing. And you see this massive pulse going from east to west, and all these NextRed towers here. But you can pull up on a map and see the positions and see how they're radiating. It's not birds, honey. It's not weather. See, fixed position. You see the towers, the black in the center. All right, it's emanating outwards from that. We're being microwaved.
So the title of this is, seriously, people, what do you think? What do you think is happening? There are hundreds of amateur meteorologists all reporting the same phenomena. They're not all saying the same thing for fun. You can also see it yourself. And this was on October the 5th. So right here, he says, let me see where it's at.
Not weather. See, fixed position. You see towers here. Poles going from east to west, and all these NextRed towers here. But you can pull up on a map and see the positions and see how they're radiating. It's not birds, honey.
So he says those are all NextRad towers. The NextRad is the Doppler radar transmitters, and it's very disturbing to watch this quickly in real time. The wave of just, I mean, 5,000 miles in 2 seconds, from east to west. But the NextRad Doppler radar transmitters are, can work in accordance with, these moisture producing power plants and, anything in the weather warfare repertoire that they have, HARP and whatever. And see, what the reason I'm getting even into this is because I was talking to somebody recently, my neighbors, and I mentioned HARP, and they're like, what? I said HARP, and they're like, you never heard of that. Oh, don't do the voices, Covert. Don't. You got to get the mirror? Do I got to get my mirror out? No, not yet. Actually, I don't even know where my mirror is. Gee, weather cares. Oh, I see it. Yeah, don't do the voices yet. We're not doing. Oh no, Jesus. Try really hard. Okay, I will. Gee whiz. Yeah. What was I saying? The NextRad, the towers. I don't even know. Oh, part of HARP. And they're like, I don't even know what that is. I'm like, oh, you never. And they're older than me. And I'm like trying to explain it. And it's like, that's what I mean. Like, I just people, and HARP's a real thing. I'm not getting into, that's not what this is about. What I'm telling you is they've been able to control the weather for decades and decades and decades. I'm going to prove that to you in this. And don't click off because you're like, I already know Covert. Do you really know? Do you really know? Like, do you really, really, really know what's happening? And I mean, at least do you have the basis of information to make some sort of a determination? Because word on the street is, and again, my only post when I came back a day or a couple days ago or whatever, and I started getting bombarded with all these in my feeds and everything, but my first instinct was voter manipulation because we're gonna look into that. Florida has always been a battleground, and there's also a inkling of an idea that this is a new. I don't want to talk about Hawaii, but if I say Hawaii, do you know what I'm saying? with all the brand new beachfront millionaire, billionaire row that they're able to build multi-mansions. Everything except blue was destroyed by whatever it was. Listen, see, I don't even know. The reason I'm talking like this is because I will show you guys an updated list of all of the videos that are being removed from Covert Radio. And these are things I don't even remember. And it's blowing my mind. And I'm not getting strikes. It's just, how you doing, Covert Radio? We've determined, da-da-da-da-da. We're sure you didn't realize that this was a violation of our terms of service or whatever it is. And then they're like, but it's like, race war, whatever, Trump. And people in the tribunal, on the Covert Radio Discord, they know because that's where I put it. I'm like, here we go again. I put up another video. Here we go again. Here's another video. Just arbitrarily taking down a lot of my important information-packed videos. And again, I do have them all. I have all of my content. It will make its way back to the internet, probably Rumble, or covertradio.com, which is, I still think is still under development, the third or fourth rendition of it. Or, I might make it just part of that's probably what I'm going to do. Just make it Patreon only. Those videos, like all the videos that have been removed from YouTube. I'll make those Patreon only. So, there's that. But these are all very important videos. And that's why I talk like this, because this video is going to be important, but I can't say too many trigger words because the video won't get out of encoding, or a lot of the subs won't even get alerted that I have a new video up. So, and again, I'm not the only, there's billions of people that talk about this stuff, but I'm not in the cool crowd. Like you know what I mean? I'm not in that crowd. I don't get away with it all the time. But I don't want to talk about too many conspiracy theories in this, because then it's just not going to go anywhere. I mentioned HARP. If you don't know about HARP, I'm not getting into it. That's 30-some years old. And the manipulation of the weather is since the 50s, there's been patents, 60s, there's been patents. And I'm going to show you a video of somebody mentioning that in the 60s, in 1969. But not only is this potential voter manipulation, because the post I made on X was like, I can say two things. I mean, I don't know how a Category 4 hurricane slams its brakes on and makes a hardcore right-hand turn. I don't know how that happens, but I do know this. The other thing is that takes care, wink, wink, that takes care of a lot of Trump supporters, right? Wink, wink. And I'm going to overlay here and show you guys some voter statistics in the Appalachian area, and show you guys, like, for real, I mean, this has taken out a lot of potential mail-in. How's the mail going to go if there are no roads? I mean, because even in Florida and a lot of these once blue counties that are turning red in Florida, see, they got them shook because of what happened in the primaries in Florida. Because it's at least 20, half almost, I'd say, of the once like Democratic controlled counties, the school boards in that area are turning Republican. So they're losing, and once you lose the school districts, like, you lose the mines, you lose this, you lose that, and then, you don't have such control. But there's always a ton of mail-in ballots by Republicans in the southern states, always. And there's data to prove that. Especially surging since 2016. 2020 was a banner year for mail-in ballots in the South. And again, if there's no roads, like, how are they delivered? And if you can't drive to a polling place, then how do you vote? Like, you see what I mean? There's such a weird blackout from what I'm gathering with the information here that it's crazy. And I mean, I've looked at a bunch of hurricane data, and out of the last 7, 8, maybe 10 years, I'm talking Ida, this one, that one, whatever. Like, if you watch the entire trajectory path of a lot of these hurricanes, it's just, some of them turn or waver a little bit, but not like this. And in my entire life, I've never seen a hurricane slam its brakes on and turn right. And on top of that, this one coming now, as I'm speaking, I've never seen a hurricane start in the Gulf of Mexico. And again, this is what we're going to basically chime in and cover a little bit. But again, I want to go back to 2000. The year 2000. It was November the 30th. I'll never forget it. See, there's certain things you don't forget. In the media, the Medea, the enchantress, the controllers, the wielders of that power, they understand the optics, okay? What if I say white Bronco? Let's show of hands. Anybody know what I'm referring to when I say white Bronco screaming down the highway? Huh? Yeah, of course, OJ, right? White Bronco. How about this? And again, this is where the gap gets smaller of information and what people remember or what even people are privy to. Because some of you guys listening to me probably weren't even born yet. You're in your late teens, early 20s. You may have not even been born when this happened on November the 30th of the year 2000. I'm going to say a yellow truck screaming down the interstate, pulling out of West Palm Beach, and had police escorts and helicopters and news copters all following this rental truck. There was the partisan watchdog, normal people like me. We were all watching history unfold. Why? Because this truck was heading up to Tallahassee with, I forget how many, 500,000, I think it was, 400,000, between 400,000 and 500,000 disputed presidential ballots between Mitt Romney and George W. Bush. Jeb Bush was the governor at the time, his brother. And, you always have these battleground states. And back then, I mean, this was just a crazy episode to watch because it's like, there's the truck. Oh, what's going to happen? We don't know yet. It was like this hinging moment on this truck, and the ballots got to be counted. The 450 miles to from West Palm Beach to Tallahassee, like, it was crazy. And, this was all based around, first they were calling it for Romney, and it was like, no, we got more ballots here. Let's get him. And they had to, and then it toppled, and Bush won. It was crazy. But, again, I remember the optics of it. Was it real? Who knows? The Washington Post did a big story about this called Rider on the Storm. Storm, keyword storm. And this was, again, back in the year 2000. But they spelled it Rider, R-Y-D-E-R. And it's crazy what's been happening in Florida. But I want to tell you guys something that I personally witnessed about a week or two ago. And I've never seen this before in my life. I've never experienced it. On the way down to Miami, I made it in about, well, I don't know. It wasn't that long. On the way back, it was twice as long because now it's post-hurricane. And, I'm driving northeast or northwest, and up to 2-hour delays, bumper to bumper, 4-6 lane interstate traffic, another wreck, trees, massive trees down everywhere, a mile long of utility trucks. But what was happening on the way down, and this is as the storm's brewing and the swells are starting, and I've never experienced this in my life, and I'm not exaggerating. You're driving, within 1 to 2 seconds, it is white out conditions. It's like a wall of water. It is like literally driving into a wall of water, and it is just torrential downpouring. And the problem, though, and the amount of wrecks in that area was I couldn't count them. I could not count them in Miami, all the way down Fort Lauderdale, because you can, and then you go 5 minutes and it's dry and there's no rain at all. And you go another 3 miles and you hit a literal wall of water. Your windshield wipers can't go fast enough. The problem is, though, everybody's hitting this wall, and they're coming right out of dry, like no rain, no nothing. So they're going 80, 85 miles an hour, speed limit 70. So people go 80, 85, whatever. And then you hit a wall of water, and you instantly can't see anything. So people started literally locking up their brakes just about. I'm saying, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 wrecks just in the last several counties of Florida. And this is when the hurricane was coming in. I've never seen that before in my life. But anyway, the ballot process and the swinging of Florida is nothing new. And again, Rider on the Storm was a Washington Post article 20-some years ago, 23 years ago. But I want to show you guys this right here. This is the 2020 versus 2016 presidential election result comparison. Now, we're on 2016 right here, and I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Here we go. So, like Palm Beach, Miami, this has always been a Democratic lockdown right down here, right into Miami. And I would assume, I'm going to tell you this too. I don't know if any of you guys are from that area listening to my voice, but what is going on with the traffic in Miami? Can anybody? Because I did my own study while I'm driving through literal walls of water and then 5 minutes of just dryness. I'm watching all the vehicles around me, and it's one driver. One driver. All these vehicles, 4 or 5 lanes on each side, bumper to bumper, just about. And that's not because of the weather. I know it rains in Florida, but and I've been there many times, but I've never experienced these walls of water. But at the same time, I've never in my life experienced the traffic that I experienced in Miami. And it was insane. But I'm looking, I'm like, why? No wonder. There's all these cars. There's only one person in every car. And I immediately start getting flashbacks of the living in a sanctuary city where all of the refugees are handed vehicles. Never drove a car before in their life, and they are handed 2,000-pound missiles. They go from a wooden bicycle with a backpack to a 2,000-pound missile. Don't know how to drive. All they have to say is, I drove in my country, and they are handed a license. This is a whole other show coming up. But I started getting these weird like flashbacks of that because I'm like, these people are getting car vouchers, this and that, da 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 da. I mean, but look at Miami, Dade County. Look at Palm Beach. Democrat, 2016 Democrat strongholds, and it's been for a long time. Well, the vast focus and concentration of immigration is right there. Who do you think they're voting for, illegally or not? Who do you think they're voting for? You don't bite the hand that feeds you, that brought you here, that opened up the gate, okay? These are Democrat strongholds, always have been. No damage here. Sun, woohoo, selling away this island, that island, yay! No problem, sunny, beautiful. Hell breaking loose right here, going up through the Appalachian Mountains. Look at all them dang good Trump supporters. That's 2016, boys. It's 2020 now. Let's see here. What's 2020? Oh, what are we turning Republican here in Miami? A little bit. Little bit, right? Look at all this. Still Tampa, yeah, they're turning. Pink, pink, pink. Oh, we're in between. But right here, what's this? This is Trump country, boy. That's what that is. You some bitch. That's Trump country. You understand? Here we go. There's another map. How Appalachia voted for president in 2020. What do you notice here? What do you guys notice? Well, geez, if you look at this here, yeah. Ooh, boy. Here's the Miami and Palm Beach strongholds down here. Here they are. Right here. Fine. Kissimmee, Orlando, fine. Gainesville, didn't hear too much about them. Right? But if you look here, ooh, we just missed all the stronghold. There it is. And then all hell breaks loose. 25, 30-foot swells all in the panhandle here. But then again here, you look, that's how the Appalachian voters vote. That's Trump country, boy. You understand that? I'm going to make a bet with you guys. We're going to see what this one does. Okay? Tomorrow, we're still in the Gulf. Wednesday, getting near. Thursday, they're saying 125 mile an hour category 3. But you know what my prediction is? Oh, look, still Miami's fine. Miami's okay. I have a feeling that all of a sudden, this front coming out of the Bahamas, coming up, and it met perfectly, and it just locked up its brakes and started heading north again. That's my prediction. My prediction here on, well, it's Tuesday. Hurricane 5, or Category 5 right now. Did you ever see a hurricane start right here? What's all the NextRad stuff going on here?
Let's take a look at what's...
Look over here, right here.
This is roughly where Vandenberg Air Force Base is. You see that emanating out towards the coast from there? Watch, boom. See that right there? Those pulses that look like the Wi-Fi symbol.
So my prediction is, like I said, but if you're pushing moisture out up this way, well, the jet stream comes down like this. Is it going to go down and get pushed down and come in? Who knows? I mean, somebody knows. Like, maybe somebody like this. We can take a look at this here.
Was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just the result of natural processes and climate patterns, or was it manipulated? The circular blue flashes seen in this video are frequency transmissions from the NextRad network of transmitter installations. All available science evidence makes clear that atmospheric frequency transmissions can and do have a repelling effect on air masses, especially if and when the air masses have been seeded with electrically conductive nanoparticles. The brighter the blue flash from a frequency transmission installation, the more pronounced and powerful the repelling effect on any air mass or storm in the vicinity will be. Where there are no blue flashes, there is no transmission, thus no repelling effect, thus no resistance for a migrating storm. Translation: a migrating storm will be hindered from moving toward frequency transmissions and will easily migrate in a direction with no transmissions. So again, I ask, was Hurricane Helene's path and behavior just an act of nature, or was it engineered? You decide.
That's right. You decide. And, you can't really decide these things without the information. So here's some more information for you. And this is what I was saying. The Republicans, Florida Republicans, eye control of more county school boards in the November election. And this was published in April of 2024. Republicans have managed to increase their party's control over all but 12 of Florida's 67 county school boards. According to a new analysis of election data, the GOP, the grand old party, their control has increased from 44 counties to 55 in just a few years. You know why? Because people come here for what it is, for what the dream of America is. They are leaving tyranny. They are leaving squalor. They are leaving shitholes. And they're not going to watch these communist demons turn this country into that. They're not idiots. They understand what's happening. There are things that happen in this country that you will go to prison for. And I'm saying in China, you will never see I'm not getting into LGBTQ and all that, but actionable rights in America are violated every day in China. I mean, severely. They do not tolerate immorality that they consider immorality. See, Yuri Bezmenov talked a lot about this, and I've covered him and I've talked about him over the years, but he talks about subversion of culture and, how the KGBs, and this is back in the 70s. He was a KGB agent, but he talked about how subversion actually works, and it's a decades-long process. And he was like, you got to chip away at morality and culture. Once you're able to start doing that, you don't need to steal secret plane, architects and rocket architecture and the technology. You don't need to do any of that, because the society will crumble in on itself. And then you just come in and pick the bones. Show me some fighting-aged men that are pure-blood Americans and tell me what they're fighting. They're fighting some make-believe image on Minecraft in their pajamas doing their live stream. Like, that's the vast majority. You understand what I mean? Subversion, culture, morality. Get into people's heads and you win. You don't need to even fire a shot. People understand this from all over the world that come here, and they see the immorality. They see the psychosis and the sickness of these communists. They're voting it out because they also believe and respect the voter system, the voting system. But there you have it. Now, look at these counties. Oh, there's another blue stronghold. They're okay. Well, boom, 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 right? Right here. Boom, 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 boom. But again, you decide. You decide. But you can't decide without the information, right? So let me show you this patent right here, okay? Let's take a look at a patent. This is hurricane and tornado control device that is very vague. And now it's like, oh, okay, 2001, November the 2nd. Isn't that convenient? 2001, the application was found by individual. And if you follow down through here, after 2003, it's been abandoned. You know, in my mind, what that means, my opinion, it's been taken and it's been folded into the military industrial complex or a corporation that is part of the military industrial complex. So hurricane and tornado control device, a method is disclosed. See how vague now? Because I've read thousands of patents, and it's funny how vague this one is. A method is disclosed for affecting the formation and or direction of a low atmospheric weather system. Audio generators are positioned to project sound. Oh, look at those drawings. You see the satellites here, the ionosphere, and you see the pulse of the waves, right? Look, what would we see right here? Can you guys see that? Watch this, right? You see the pulse of the waves. What'd he say? Look, watch him right here. Right there, right where he's pointing. See the pulse of the waves? Watch the pulse in here. Look at all these waves right here. Bum, 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 bum. Watch these waves right here by his hand. Watch them. Look at them right here. It's very similar to, okay, well, yeah, you know, here's some drawings, how it would work. And, you know, what Tesla say, if you understand, how do you say it? Sound and vibration, you'll understand like the creation of the, or something. You know what I mean? Like, here we go. There's perfectly positioned. Boom, 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 boom. Can you guys see that? Let me make sure. Yeah. And let's see if we can blow this up a little bit. There you go. Yeah. See, there you go. They're steering this tornado or hurricane perfectly positioned. Are those NextRad towers? Oh, I don't know. Boy, it looks like you can just steer them and zoom them up and slow them down and cut them left and cut them right, right? Zoom them up. One. Okay, this was 20-some years ago. A patent was found for hurricane and tornado control devices. And I'll link this in the description if you guys want to really get into it. But also came across this patent, which is propagation, or the propagating sound through bodies of water to generate and direct wind for the purpose of moderating and affecting weather patterns. Wow. Through water at that. Because again, I want to know of a hurricane that starts right here in the Gulf of Mexico, that starts off as an immediate Category 5. Right? Make up your own mind. Just make up your own mind. Look at the data because, again, word on the street is that this is voter manipulation, which we see this is Trump country. This is all Trump country. All through here is Trump country. And what's coming here is a lot of Trump country. Those are millions and millions and millions of votes. The other thing that's been talked about is a lithium mine that's in North Carolina, Abelmar, who had just submitted a state and federal permit for the redevelopment of the Kings Mountain mine, which is a lithium mine. They just submitted this on September the 24th. Now, in the news, you guys have heard a ton about Asheville, North Carolina. So I was like, okay. So Albemarle submits this the federal documents to get permits and everything to start mining lithium out of the Kings Mountain mine, which is one of the most, not the biggest lithium mine, but it is one of the most concentrated lithium mines in the world. So you're already bringing in tons of help from all over the world, right? And I'm quotations help. How far, I said, Covert Radio, how far is this lithium mine from Asheville? Because we've seen all the media that keeps trying to come out about Asheville and the numbers, which is staggering, the amount of people, county by county, that Helene has devastated. Asheville is the epicenter. I think as of right now, it's about 120 total in that general area, in the Asheville general area. And I'm saying surrounding counties within 5, 10, 15, 20 miles. In Asheville alone, it's something like 80 deaths right now. They were the hardest hit. And I was like, well, how far away is this mine from Asheville? Well, let's take a look at that. Here's Asheville right here. Can I zoom in? Yeah. Here's, okay. This is where the mine is, Cleveland County. This is the hardest hit. This is the epicenter. This is the most damage right in this county. What is it? 1 hour away is Cleveland County, where the mine is. Now, okay, so what Covert Radio? It's just it's a storm and stuff, and then it's like, okay, fine. All right, I get that. I understand that. But here's the reality of the situation, okay? Do you guys know what it takes to mine lithium? Because, again, hardest hit, Asheville right here. This is the lithium mine right here. So, and there's millions of homes destroyed, millions of properties wiped off the face of the earth, millions of structures, businesses, roads, okay? People getting killed. Do you know what a lithium mine looks like? Right here. It's a form of strip mining, but they do got to pull it from underground. Check out Googs, okay, and just type in what does a lithium mine look like? That's a lithium mine. Here's a lithium mine. Global lithium mines, distribution and overview of lithium resources in China. Well, let's see here. If you're going to claim eminent domain across millions of acres of property, how much is that going to cost? Because they do it all the time with the freeway systems and the highway systems. It's called eminent domain. It doesn't matter if your farm has been in your family for 200 years, okay? Doesn't matter. If they're going to put a road there or whatever, they claim eminent domain. They'll buy it off you for a fair market value, and that's it. You have no choice 99% of the time. Sometimes you can, there's certain things you can do. And I think they're called something like matchstick structures or something, but there's cases of those in bigger cities where it's like the one woman wouldn't sell her house, and her little house is in the middle of like 100-story office buildings and stuff. But that's not true in every state. And when they file eminent domain, they're taking it and they're paying you for it, but you're out. Well, let's see here. How many millions of acres would they have to buy to start doing this? And how many people would they have to pay off? Well, there's nobody there now. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, there's nobody there now. There's no property. There's no nothing. It's all loss. Let the insurance companies figure it out, right? Why Elon Musk wants Tesla to start mining lithium. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? April 19th of 2022. Again, was it voter manipulation? Was it a land grab? You know what I mean? There's so many. Are lanternflies, the spotted lanternfly, is it really invasive? Will this jibba jabba save your life? Did you take Wake the Fuck Up? If you did, call our law offices. Were you prescribed Wake the Fuck Up? If you were prescribed that, please call our law offices at 1-800-THE-LAW and talk to one of our certified attorneys who will guide you through the class action lawsuit. Were you prescribed OxyContin in 2002 and it's destroyed entire states and counties and families and call the call it whatever. Yeah, call them. They whacked up $40 billion and then they gave a few $1 million to all of the counties and states that Purdue had managed to destroy. And, that's the game. See, that's part of the pharmaceutical industry is they now include the class action settlements as part of the cost of doing business. So hurry, push through the FDA. You got your same people in and out. It's a revolving door. We all know this. Well, I worked at Pfizer. Now I'm with the FDA. I was with the FDA. Now I'm with Merck. I was with Merck. I went back to Pfizer. I was with Pfizer. Now my brother's at the FDA. He's going back to Bayer. And now, so it's like, yeah. It's a revolving door. And, if you don't start really questioning what's happening here, because the reality is it doesn't make sense. The reality is there's too much data out there to kind of like say, there's something actually to this. A lot of hobbyists that are watching these weather stations and the NextRad transmitters and the weather patterns. There's too many smart people paying attention. And I knew this 20 some years ago when the internet came. I was like, this is going to be used for good and evil. But the reality is, like, even though it's being used by both sides, you can't hide. Well, see, they're starting to learn how to do that now, but we're not there yet. So as much as, 20 years ago, what do you mean you can steer a hurricane? What do you mean? What patent? Did you go to the library? And you know what I mean? That wasn't happening 20 years ago. And there's been so many claims over the years about weather and engineering and, how the, now all they guys say it's global warming. That's what it is. It's global warming, idiot. Are these both being guided by ground-based transmitters? Who knows? But I know this. They treat people like they're stupid. And they're always going to treat us like we're stupid. And they're always going to put rabbit holes to chase down. And they're always going to put misinformation out. And there's always going to be the Alex Joneses out there. But when you have misinformation this blatant in your face, Vox, 12 million subs, humans finally figured out how to make it rain. This was 2 years ago. They treat you like you're stupid. With a little bit of research, you can find out that they've been doing this since the 1950s and 60s. But to the young kids, we can finally make it rain. And I'm not going to play this. It's just so gut-wrenching sick where they just talk to people like they're children. And like, this is a brand new, such advanced technology. Here, this is quick. They overdid it here. They used Dubai as a little testing.
Okay, so we talked about this last week, and now we're going to do a deep dive with Davo. Dubai is making it rain in a sweltering desert by zapping clouds with electricity using drones.
Fascinating, isn't it?
So much to ask, but let's take it, and then we'll do a few questions.
Before we talk about what's happening in Dubai, let's talk about cloud seeding in general, because a lot of people, I don't think, understand what cloud seeding is. And this has been going on for decades, by the way. This is not something that's brand new. But traditionally, what cloud seeding is, it involves using aircraft or drones or even some cannons to push silver iodide up high into the clouds. Why silver iodide? Because what that has the same crystallized structure as ice. So once it gets up into the clouds, it starts to accumulate ice on it and these large raindrops, which helps, especially in a cloud mass that's not really going to rain. It helps to bring rain and especially snow down.
So it works.
It does work. Marginally. But the problem with silver iodide through the years has been this, is that they feel it could be harmful to aquatic life. Okay? So over in Dubai, which is what you're seeing here, they took it a different step, and what they basically did, they had a fleet of drones that flew up into cloud cover, and they used electrical charges to force water droplets to combine into larger ones.
So not silver, not cloud seeding as we know.
No, they're not using the traditional silver iodide, which takes out the environmental aspect of that, okay? So they're using just electricity to create larger raindrops. Why larger raindrops? Because in Dubai, they only average about 4 inches of rain per year, as most of the rain that falls out of the clouds evaporates. Because it's so hot, it's so dry, and the water molecules are so tiny. So they're trying to stimulate, by using electricity, these droplets to be larger. Hence, they can make it to the ground. Now, I will tell you that the jury is still kind of out a bit on whether or not this was a fluke, whether this is something that can work long term. So they need to continue with these drones, and they're going to continue to do this. Yes, Mr. Rhodes?
So, assuming it works and it wasn't a fluke, why not use this out in the western U.S. where all these wildfires are and the drought is going on? Could this not help us
That's
here?
a fantastic question. And they've been...
See, they talk to you like you're stupid. I'm going to raise my hand like I'm 6 years old in kindergarten. Fantastic question, Jim. Now let's come up with some
trying. And this is stuff that, first of all, it's very expensive too. You're talking about millions and millions of dollars, which is fine when you're trying to alleviate a drought.
Sure. Yeah, drones, millions of... I mean, yeah, if you're a government contractor, it's probably, millions and millions and millions of dollars. But come on. They treat everybody like you should be so offended. And I guess that's what's always sparked me with wanting more information, because it's like, okay, I mean, I can't take anything at the surface level. What do you mean millions for drones, right? Drones. Whatever, I can't.
Millions of dollars, which is fine when you're trying to alleviate a drought.
Sure.
It cannot work with wildfires. Here's the thing. You can't just throw silver iodide or electricity into a clear sky and it rains. It doesn't work that way. You have to have the right cloud structure, the right cloud height. They have to be tall, getting up well into the freezing layer.
Yeah, like these here? You mean these type of clouds here that we can miraculously do now too? All of a sudden, 3 years ago, this was published?
We're here in Santa Barbara County, home to one of the longest running cloud seeding operations in the country. We've got some ground-based cloud seeding equipment right here, and we're going to get to hear all about how it works and see it in action. Let's check it out. Cloud seeding is the most common type of weather modification, and it has many different techniques and applications. Today, it's mostly used to increase rain and snowfall, reduce the size of hail, and reduce fog at airports.
Traditionally, cloud seeding has been done from the air. So airplanes have had racks on them where these same flares are positioned on the airplane, and the airplane flies into the storm. So in order to reduce the cost to the client and reduce our carbon footprint, we've been able to station these on the ground. Now we can do this in places where weather permits.
Behind a barbed wire fence designed to keep away curious cattle, the cloud seeding gear awaits the right kind of weather.
So these are referred to as AHOGs. That stands for Automated High Output Ground Seeding Systems. We've got three primary components of our equipment here. The first is the control module that you see behind me. Then we have our actual cloud seeding flares. The cameras for security. It also helps us observe weather conditions in real time and make sure that all of the equipment is operating correctly during a storm. Inside these canisters are the flares with the seeding agents. The canisters are used as spark arresters, so they prevent sparks from reaching the ground. So if we pull off the spark arrestor, you can see the flare inside. The ignition of the flares are controlled from the control module that's behind us. So the white triangle there is a cell service modem, and then the solar panel keeps us powered. Inside we have a battery and then a control board. So the control board interacts with the software.
Yeah, you guys get it. I mean, whatever. There's also a machine NASA has. You could find that video easily. There's several on YouTube and around the internet about NASA's cloud creating machine. So, I mean, again, this is nothing new. I'm going to play one more thing for you guys here. This is a clip from the original 1969 Woodstock. 1969. Okay, listen.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Later, huh? Right, later. Okay. I got something to say. I want to know how come the fascist pigs have been seeding the clouds. Right. Last hour and airplanes going over twice with all the smoke coming out of them seeding the clouds. And I want to know, why that stuff is going down, man. And why doesn't the media report that stuff to the people, man? I'm telling you what happened. The planes come over for an hour and a half and they seeded all the clouds. People of unknown origin were seeding the clouds over the. I don't know what they hope to prove, man.
What's going on here?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I keep coming up here and I'm almost walking away.
It's nothing new, you guys. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. I'm going to link a bunch of this information and videos, maybe even stuff we didn't even go over. I have about, not even kidding you, 13, 15 more windows open. I don't want to blow my voice out because, again, this is my first video back, and I have so much to get into. I'm not even going to mention Owen Benjamin and, it's unbelievable. It really, 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 really is. It really is. And it's sad. It actually is sad. And I'm going to tell you guys a story also when I mention this in the next video that Owen he's never ever going to fix what he's done to himself. The arbitrary grabbing and pushing and prodding and blaming is exactly what it is. It is he's looking for a scapegoat. I believe. That's my opinion. And it's like, you literally have nobody to blame but yourself. And again, I'm going to mention the ADL. I'm going to mention Media Matters. I'm going to mention the SPHC or the SPH, the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, among many other organizations, and not to mention the new ones. Because you guys don't forget, I still have that video coming up too from the festival. See, right around that time, I'm two and a half weeks prior to leaving, all this stuff had to be done that I have going on. I had to arrange and set up and make sure and solidify a bunch of things. So I'm just so, it's all over with now. Now I'm here. Now I am focused. I'm here. And the story I'm going to tell you is sad because it's like, what a blown opportunity. And maybe I'll just tell you guys now. You know, I don't know how many of you guys have ever taken a cruise, but it's unbelievable. It's really, it's an amazing experience to be inside of a moving city in the middle of the blackness of the ocean. And you would never know, and I know this is cliche, and I know you've all heard this, but you would never know you're on a ship until you get out on the decks or you look out from your balcony in your stateroom and you're cruising along in the blackness. But you as soon as you shut or you go inside, you're in a hotel, you're in a resort, you're in a casino, you're in one of the best restaurants, like not 1, 9, 10 restaurants. An entire casino, table games, machines, like nightclubs and theaters and like craziness, bars and like there was jewelry stores and like candy stores, liquor stores on the ship. Water slides, pools, hot tub, like name it. I mean, I know you guys have been told or seen it or looked into it or you've done it yourself. But for those of you who haven't, I'm telling you, it's unbelievably amazing. But part of my entertainment was a couple of the clubs on the ship would have comedians. I'm not going to mention any names, but it's so sad to know that what Owen has done to himself is irreversible and that he really truly will never work again from what he has done. And I think to myself, like, everything he had that he just lashed out against Hollywood because they wouldn't hire him anymore, allegedly. There was no demand for him, allegedly. There was no need for him anymore, allegedly. They gave him a few tries, a few low budget BC movies, a few minor whatever, couple friends pulled some cards, whatever. And it was just a dud. He's a dud. That's my opinion. Yes, he has said a few funny things 20-some years ago. He's not that guy anymore. And he hasn't been for a very long time. And it's sad to watch. Because I think to myself, what an unbelievable opportunity that these are named comedians. I could tell you their names and you'd be like, oh my God. But they go out 5, 8, 6 months at a time with these massive cruise companies. And it's all include the best food, the best restaurants. You're eating at a 4 or 5 star restaurant every single night. You're being entertained by some of the best entertainers in the world. And they're dying for acts. I talked personally with the cruise director, and he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, and I didn't mention names or anything, but we had an in-depth conversation about how it actually works. And I just couldn't help but think, like, what a shame. What a blown opportunity. And yeah, it's not for everybody to be out 6 months at a time. But the amount of money you're going to make in 6 months tax-free, because most of it, 80% of it's in international waters. No food. You eat the best meals every day. You have no cost for food, no cost for nothing. It is all payday. And he will never, ever have that opportunity because of what he's done. His own filth, degeneration, narcissism, hate will forever haunt him. He has scarred his brand to the point that there's no buffing compound that will ever remove what he's done. No corporation will ever hire him. No companies will ever hire him because of what he has done. It's not because of Covert Radio. It's not because of Alan Powell. It's not because of Adam Camacho or Liz Antoinette or Pandora or Renee Bernays or Michelle or, I could name so many people. Who's the artist? I can never, he's so good. Now it's right on the tip of my tongue. He draws amazing stuff. It's always on Reddit. Damn it, it's right on the tip of my tongue. But I months ago, or not months, it's been a few months. I talked about, it's a fog. These names, these people, the one, the dome guy, him. When I played the video with the Johnny 5 and damn it, what is his name? I feel bad, buddy. I'm going to give you a proper shout out in this next video. But there's him, none of these people, and people that are long gone, and people that are coming out every day that are leaving the Beartaria cult. You blame whoever you want, sir. Okay. You look in the mirror, though. Look in the mirror. It's a shame. Really, it really is a shame. But those videos are coming up. I'm getting back in the swing of things. Sorry if I'm rambling, but again, this is my first video back. And a lot of this is foggy. You know what I mean? A lot of these names and stuff. It's it was a well deserved and received and needed break is what I had. And, I'm trying to switch gears back in, but it's not easy. It's not, because I don't know. There's a lot more important things. And it's amazing when you get out into environments like that, how all this shit melts away. I didn't see any, there was no pharmaceutical commercials. There was no politics. Nobody talked about shit that was negative. It was such a great time. And I hate to go on about it because I feel bad for people that haven't or can't or won't or don't want to. But I don't know. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a break. So I'm Covert Radio. Again, I'm going to get into the Covert Radio email. We're going to really hit the ground running. I actually have some, I'm not going to bore you guys to death by talking out, thinking out loud, but we have some new stuff coming up. We're going to be going live here really soon. And check the description. We're going to try to get a touch base with Adam Camacho, see what's going on there. Possibly Alan Powell. Word on the street is I may get Liz or ask Liz Antoinette to come on Covert Radio. But if we're doing a live, I might just have a panel too. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'm just thinking out loud. Check the links in the description. A lot of the stuff I covered is going to be in there, and stuff that I didn't even get to go over. If you want to become part of the Covert Radio Tribunal, that link is also in the description. Which, again, I think the videos that have been removed by YouTube are going to be Patreon only. I may trickle a couple of those on Rumble, but I think the vast majority are just going to be offered on Patreon. And we'll go from there. All righty. So I missed you guys. I'm glad I'm back. And stay tuned. We got tons of content coming up. I'm Covert Radio, brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio. You guys take care. Have a good day.
Get a phone call from the queen with 100 heads. She says that they're all dead. She tried the last one on, couldn't speak, fell off, and now she just wanders a hall, thinking nothing at all. Once there was a man who had a little too much time on his hand and never stopped to think that he was getting older. But when his night came to an end, he tried to grasp for his last friend and pretend that he could wish himself health on a four-leaf clover.